So I first obviously want to start out by saying how beautiful my best friend looks. And Brian, as I like to call him, Meat Man, you look absolutely handsome. So stunning. So, as a wise man once advised me to keep the speech under 3 minutes, Mr. O'Connor, after shredding the other half of it, this is what I was able to squeeze in. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christy, and Maura is my best friend. Our friendship began 20 plus years ago over a pair of shoes. Of course, I was too young to remember that, but Maura swears by it, so we'll give it to her. I was lucky enough to become the little sister that Maura never wanted, making surprise appearances on her family vacations and appearing in her living room uninvited. But thankfully, for the most part, she welcomed me with open arms. Maura made it easy for me to look up to her. She was never afraid to speak her mind, and she always stayed true to who she is. I admired her patience for love, and am grateful that she finally took Brian up on the whole girlfriend idea. Maura knew from day one of her and Brian's friendship that he was the one, but she liked to keep him on his toes because she thought it was crazy to date her cousin's roommate. Well, guess what, Maura? Welcome to Delco. And Meat Man, you are a genius. You made sure that the first date you took her on was to a concert, and we all know that Maura can't say no to a concert. She came back hooked on you and realized that her time spent with you was better than any concert experience she's ever had, with the exception of the Jonas Brothers, of course. It took less than a second of spending time with you to realize that everything Moy told me about you was genuine. You love my best friend for all the right reasons. And you immediately proved that you could handle the two of us as a package deal. And for that, I appreciate you. To the both of you, I admire the love you have for one another. You prove that getting married doesn't make you old and boring at all. You both prove how taking this next step in life is as exciting as those first few months. Now, if everyone can raise your glass for an Irish blessing. How do I do this at the same time? Okay. To the new Mr. and Mrs. Mesner. Woo! May your troubles be less and your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness comes through your door. Cheers. I love you both, and congratulations.
You made me cry for the first time today.
Hey everybody, I am Bill. I am the best man. I was the guy in the gorilla suit, and I have not stopped sweating since I took it off. We had rehearsal dinner on Thursday, and Brian gave this very impassioned speech that was very, touching. This will not be that. A couple weeks ago, I asked Brian, I said, I'm going to give the speech. What would you like me to do? And he said, if I had a choice, I wouldn't have any of my friends speak for me in public ever. Tradition overweighed meets opinions. So you guys are stuck with me for at least a couple minutes. I'm going to do my best to refer to the groom as Brian. In the East Lansdowne circles, he is more commonly referred to as Meat. Growing up, I used to call the Mesner household back when house phones were a thing. And Mrs. Mesner would answer. She would say hello. I would say, hi, is Meat around? There would be a slight pause, and she would say, I'm pretty sure I have some meat in the freezer, but Brian is downstairs if you'd like to talk to him. So if that is an example, obviously the East Lansdowne kids are not known for their intellect. We refer to each other as Meat, Bear Cub, Worm. There is a dude somewhere around here, if you meet him, he will actually introduce himself as A-Tone Biggs. And he does so in all seriousness, like it's his religious name. Where is Anthony? So growing up, I was able to talk Brian into doing some stupid things. And like everyday stupid things. I once convinced him to get on a bus on a Tuesday to go to Athens, Ohio to watch Temple play football. It was a Tuesday. I was also able to convince him into coaching volunteer football for 10 years. Talk about a long con. I am so very happy for the both of you guys. Maura, I've seen Brian through highs and lows, and his highs haven't been as high since he's met you, and his lows have never been as they're non-existent. I do have 2 pieces of advice for you. Should he, knock on wood, ever break a limb and it needs to be cast, give it about a week, then get out of Dodge. I'm pretty sure the stink from his ankle cast in high school is why I have allergies. Secondly, if he ever says the words in this order, I can feel myself getting skinnier, feed him immediately. You will not like what is on the other side of that sentence. I promised Meat I was going to keep it short. Meat, I am so proud of you. It's unbelievable. You've been an amazing friend for so long. We always joke that you have the longest view in the room and everything works out for Brian. And nothing says everything works out with Brian like you sitting next to him as his wife. I love you guys. I couldn't be more excited to watch you go through life together. And if you ever have 1 second of shroud, should I start a family? Just remember, you've been taking care of Jim Doc for 15 years. And that has to be harder than raising a child, right? I love you guys. If everybody could raise a glass, I don't have one. To Mr. and Mr. Brian Messner.
All right, everybody, one more time, a round of applause for Christy and Bill.